Look, if you open up TikTok, LinkedIn, or literally talk to anyone over the age of 40, the script is always the same. Gen Z doesn't want to work. They're too sensitive. They sit on their phones all day and complain about the 9 to 5 while accomplishing nothing. But let's be completely honest for a second. Is Gen Z actually lazy? Let's start with the most obvious factor that older generations completely fail to understand. They didn't grow up using the internet. They grew up inside it. People my age, late 20s, early 30s, we remember back in the day, MSN, early YouTube, Skype. The internet was something that you went to, you logged off. People these days, the younger generation, a lot of them never really had an off switch. The internet wasn't a place they visited. It was just the background noise of their entire life. Their friendships were online, their social status was online, their insecurities were online. Their comparison game was online, except it wasn't the kids in their school anymore, it was the entire planet. Think about what that actually does to a 14-year-old's brain. You're 14, you open TikTok and the algorithm serves you let's say a 22-year-old saying that they make 40 grand a month from dropshipping. You're 16 and someone your age is on YouTube talking about their apartment in Bali. You're 19 and you feel behind because some guy in your comments is already financially free. He doesn't have to work and he actually provides for his parents. We've all heard and seen these stories before, and it's flooding all of our social media. YouTube homepage, TikTok For You page, everywhere on Facebook. And logically, it's mostly performance, but your nervous system, your brain doesn't know that. Your brain just keeps absorbing all of these messages. And it comes to one important conclusion. You're behind. You're not enough. Everyone else is winning. And that's when the environment that you grew up in, every single day, all the way from childhood, of course your expectations get warped. Of course the normal life feels underwhelming. Of course normal life starts to feel like settling. Because normal life can't compete with an algorithm. And I think before anyone criticizes Gen Z, they need to sit with that for a second. Because nobody handed them a manual for that. They were just thrown in. Okay, so the second thing. So for generations, the deal was pretty simple. You work hard, you get a stable job, you stay loyal to the company, you buy a house eventually, you pay your taxes, you retire, and then you're done. The key thing about the deal that a lot of people miss is you could actually see the connection. You work hard, you get rewarded. You can see the line between effort and outcome. Gen Z, on the other hand, they're looking at the same deal and going like, where does the line go? Where does it go now? Is there a line? Has it been removed? Like, well, what do we do? They're still being told the old method, you study hard, but these days degrees are not staying the same. They're actually increasing in cost. They're getting more expensive, and they don't actually guarantee anything because you actually know why. So the barrier to entry has just it's gone away from having a degree. You can leave that back in the 2010s. So Gen Z are being told get a job, but entry level jobs now want 5 to 10 years of experience. Let's say you graduated and you don't have an internship. You're absolutely cooked. So what people do, they do unpaid internships where they get absolutely abused. Their mental health gets absolutely hammered. And at the same time, there's pressure on them to get a actual paying job because the cost of living keeps going up and up, and rent is eating half the income. That they get told and if they're lucky enough to actually get a job, they get told to buy a house, but the deposit itself feels like a moving target that just keeps running away. And then after all that, they get told they're entitled for even questioning it. But that's the thing, is that actually entitlement, or is that just basic maths? Like, we're not stupid and they're not stupid. Like, it's common sense. It's the same generational advice given to us by baby boomers is just not working out. Because if the reward for working hard starts becoming less obvious, people naturally start questioning the work itself. It's not some Gen Z thing, it's just how human behavior works. If you work full time, let's say you work a 9 to 5 or you work 2 casual jobs and you still can't afford rent, you're going to question why you're still doing it. It's not laziness, it's a rational response to a broken structure. You can't get blood from a stone. I think that's how the saying goes. Like, the companies, the system itself tries to drain everything from you, and not just everything, but it's the whole system is designed to continue to extract even more from you, whether it be your attention, whether it be your livelihood, your emotional energy. And that's why everyone Gen Z's age is obsessed with escaping the 9 to 5, like remote work, side hustles, content creation, passive income. Not because they don't want to do anything, but they want effort to actually lead somewhere. But we'll get to that.